Guys, don't you love the cards we're making this month for my card club? The card club this month has changed up. It's a little different than the card club in the months past. Instead of 3 cards, you're going to make 2 cards today, and you're going to get all the materials to make those cards, and there's going to be a bonus, either another card or a 3D project that you'll get in the mail with a private video that you'll be able to view. So I'm making the first 2 cards public, and the last item will be private, and that's only for anybody who qualifies for the card club. If you're new to my card club, what you need to do is make a $32 pre-tax, pre-shipping order at my store. You can purchase anything you'd like as long as it's $32. You need to reside in the U.S. You also need to leave me your contact info so I can mail you your goodies. You also need the current host code, which I'll leave that in the video information. So what you'll get is you'll get a packet in the mail, and again you'll have a bonus packet in here, but I'm not going to provide you with that unless you qualify for the card club. So right now we're just going to make the 2 cards. So what you'll get is you'll get your PDF file, which is right here, and that will tell you all of the materials used, and it will give you a link to the public video, and you will get the link to the private video. So we're going to go ahead and get started on making these cards. The first card here will be the card with the Whisper White base. We'll make that one first, so we'll set all of our other materials aside. Now you're going to get a piece of Whisper White cardstock, so we just want to fold that in half and just use your bone folder to give that a nice crease. And then you're going to receive all of the cutout pieces that you're going to need. They will not be stamped, so you will have to stamp on these. So we're just going to go ahead and take out all of our pieces, and there are some small pieces in here. So we're going to set the staircase aside. We'll glue that on in a minute, but we're going to work on all of our stamping right now. So you also can set your Christmas bulbs and your bows aside too, because we're not stamping on them. So you want to go ahead and take your basic black, and we're going to stamp out the dog and the plate of cookies with that. So you're going to be using the stamp set Ready for Christmas, and I'm also using the thinlits to go along with this set, and that's what all these were cut out of. And because this is a photopolymer set, I'm just going to lay my foam mat down so I get a nice clean image with my stamps. So we're going to take basic black, and we're going to stamp out our little dog. And you're just going to line up the dog on your cutout image. And then the next thing we're going to stamp out is our plate of cookies with our little sign for Santa. And again, we're just using basic black for that. So that's all we're going to use the basic black for. So the next thing we're going to stamp is our pine garland, and we're just going to stamp that out in garden green. And we can go ahead and put our garden green away. We're all done with that. The next thing we're going to stamp out is the stand here, and we're using soft suede to stamp that out. And this was cut out of crumb cake. And we're all done with our soft suede, so you can put that one away. So the only ink you'll have left is your real red, which we'll be using that in a little bit. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to get your markers, and you're just going to color in your cookies and your dog. So once you have your dog and your cookies colored in, you're just going to take your Wink of Stella brush, and you're just going to put some Wink of Stella all over the For Santa We Love You Once you've done that, we can go ahead and start assembling your card. And your card, you're going to start, the first thing we're going to do is put our stairs on. And I'm using the liquid mono glue for that. So then when I put my stairs on, I'm going to put them as close to the edge of the card that I can. So just in the lower left-hand corner here. So once you have your stairs on, we're going to just continue to assemble your card here. So you're going to take your, again, your liquid mono glue and just put that on your garland and just line that up on your stairs. And then the little stand is going to go right next to the bottom of the stairs. And then your Christmas bulbs and your bows are going to go right along the bottom here of your garland. I actually found it was a lot easier on these little bows to use your tweezers, a pair of tweezers for them. So the next thing we're going to do is just pop up our dog and your plate of cookies, just using some Stampin' Up! Dimensionals. So the final step to this card would be just to stamp out a wish for everything merry, which you will use real red to stamp that out. And you're just going to stamp it right in this, up in the top right hand corner. And there's that card. It's all done. There's your first card. So we're going to move on to the next card. So your next card, you're going to have a few pieces in here. So what you're going to do first is we're just going to go ahead and fold our card base, and then just use your bone folder to give it that nice good crease. And then we're going to set that aside. And we're going to do our stamping, and all you're going to need is basic black for the stamping. And you're just going to stamp out on your largest oval stitch shape framelit, sharing the joy at Christmas and always. So once you've stamped that out, we're just going to set that aside, and we're going to start to assemble our card. You're all done with your inks and stamping. So you're going to take your piece of Pool Party here. We're just going to glue this to the front. This piece of Pool Party is measured out 5 1/4 by 4. And you're just going to go ahead and use some snail adhesive to glue that down. And then your next piece of cardstock you'll have is this one here is called Merry Music Specialty Designer Series paper. This piece is cut at 4 3/4 by 3 1/2. And what you're going to want to do is just take your fast fuse, turn this over, and just give a little bit of fast fuse on the corners, each of the corners here, because you're going to put your ribbon there. So in your card package, you're going to get 6 pine branches and then 3 pieces of ribbon. 2 of the pieces are measured at 6 inches and 1 piece is measured at 4. So you want to take the 2 longer pieces that you have and just place one on your snail adhesive, place an end on there, and then just wrap it around the front here. And then place the other end right on the back there. And then you want to do the same thing for the bottom. So once you have those wrapped around, then you're just going to take your snail adhesive or fast fuse, whichever one you prefer, and you're just going to apply this piece to the front of your card. And then you're going to take your little pine boughs here, and I recommend fast fuse for this. Just going to take some fast fuse and put some on the edges here. So I just took my pine branches and I kind of just put them about halfway in. And then I did the same on the other side. So all I'm doing with these is I'm just taking and I'm placing them about halfway in on your fast fuse here. You don't want them to stick out too far. So about halfway. And if you don't have enough fast fuse, you can go over the tops and get more fast fuse in there. You could also use glue dots to glue them down. That would work too. So once you have them all anchored down, it'll look a little something like this. And then this is just going to lay right in the front here. So I'm just going to use my fast fuse because I have a lot of paper back here. I want to make sure it stays down really well. And then I'm just going to center this on the card. Just like that. And then the last thing you're going to do is take your last piece of ribbon and just slip it under here and just give it a little knot in there. And then just trim off those edges with a pair of scissors. So that's it. That's all to my card club. There's one more card or 3D project, and if you qualified for the card club, you will be able to make that project also. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching.